Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. Additionally, consider subscribing to my Patreon to get access to these features, and much more. My story begins much like many others who cross-dress. It starts in early childhood. I remember, and have been reminded countless times, that my favorite toys were dolls, strollers, dress-up sets, and tea party accessories, Barbies and all. Most of my cousins were girls, and instead of playing with my own or my brother's toys, I always gravitated toward theirs. My mother has many photos of me dressed head to toe like a little girl, pretty dresses, shoes, makeup, hats, and my hair curled just right. Back then, they thought it was cute. But as I grew older, that innocence faded. Dressing like a girl was no longer adorable, it was seen as wrong. Boys just don't do that. I heard it all the time. You don't want to do that, it's girly, or stop it, you're a boy. So, by around age 10, my dress-up days ended. I got away with it that long by pretending I wasn't enjoying it and letting my cousins think they had the upper hand. Little did they know how much those moments meant to me. After that, my dress-up and makeup sessions were relegated to sneaking into my mother's closet when she was away. I'd raid her lipsticks and nail polishes for a quick thrill, nearly getting caught more than once. Around 12, I realized I could dress as a girl for Halloween and actually pass. I went to several parties in costume, and everyone thought I was cute. That feeling didn't last. Testosterone soon pushed my male development into overdrive. On the outside, I was becoming a typical young man. Inside, though, I remained very feminine. The upside, I was turning into a handsome young man. The downside, my chance of ever truly passing as female was fading. Genetically, I was split between my parents, masculine traits from my father, but facial features from my mother. With makeup, my face was still quite pretty. Genetics can be cruel, especially to confused kids like me. So my fantasies became just that, fantasies. Makeup sessions happened occasionally, but I quickly outgrew my mother's clothes and was too embarrassed to buy my own for fear of being discovered. Any behavior outside the typical norm was unacceptable, and consequences could be severe, sometimes even deadly. For all intents and purposes, my desires came to a halt except for constant masturbation fantasies. Believe it or not, my cross-dressing reappeared after I got married. Fast forward to age 21. One night, after a few beers, my wife was feeling frisky. She brought her makeup case into the living room and said she wanted to try something she'd been curious about. I thought she'd just bought new lipstick and didn't pay much attention. Then she grabbed my face, turned it toward her, and told me to pucker up like I was going to kiss her. I put on my macho front and said there was no way she was putting that stuff on me. Then she promised me a big reward if I let her. I acted like I wasn't thrilled about the whole thing. She carefully applied lipstick, then added eyeliner, eyeshadow, and mascara. A bit of rouge followed, and she even painted my nails. I was rock hard. She had no idea I was as excited as a schoolgirl with a crush. She admired how pretty my face looked and said it was such a shame that such a lovely face belonged to such a manly body. At 6 feet 1 inch and about 270 pounds, I definitely looked like a guy on the outside. Then she glanced down at my shorts and spotted the obvious tent forming. A sly, mischievous grin spread across her face. "Looks like you like what I've done to you," she said. How could I deny it now? My body betrayed me, revealing my obvious excitement. She immediately bombarded me with questions about my fantasies. My face flushed bright red as memories of childhood masturbation flooded my mind. Renee kept volunteering guesses while I scrambled to come up with anything other than the truth. As her enthusiasm grew and she seemed convinced she had it all figured out, I decided to take a chance. I had nothing to lose. There I was, all dolled up, with my wife having the time of her life. I opened up about my lifelong desires, my childhood, and what had brought me to this moment, explaining the growing wet spot in my shorts. She said she was thrilled, that this would open so many doors for us. I wasn't quite sure what she meant yet, But knowing the woman I loved was as excited about dressing me up as I was to be dressed was more than I could have hoped for. What I didn't know was that my fantasy unlocked one of hers. She'd long wanted to dominate me and control certain aspects of our bedroom life. I wouldn't discover that for another week. That night, before the makeup came off, we had some of the best intimacy I'd ever experienced. I thought I was going to explode. Both of us wearing makeup, our lipsticks blending as they touched. The faint scent of her perfume was intoxicating, filling my senses. She had never been so turned on before, literally dripping. She told me it felt like making love to a woman with a strap on, and she loved it. That night marked the beginning of an incredible journey that's lasted 12 amazing years so far. She also mentioned she was already planning for the next week. If you appreciated this story and wish to show your support, don't forget to join me on Patreon for exclusive content.